Go around and make left traffic.
Go around, make left traffic, November 714 Golf Zulu.
I'm Matt Williams, Mr. MPW. Join us as we take to the skies in various flight simulators using different plugins, different technology, different things to learn how to fly safely and efficiently.
Welcome everybody. So first flight in PilotEdge then. We're going to be doing the kind of recommended flight, the first one, which is from Oceano County, L52 in Southern California, over to San Luis, which is a controlled airport inside Class D airspace. So join along. I'm going to walk you through everything that we need to do as we go. So we are here in the aircraft now, and we're up and running.
75 member at SoCal Departure warning radar tag.
I'm just going to turn the radios off so that it doesn't get in the way for now. We'll put those on again in a second. That's the whole point of PilotEdge. What we're going to do, and I'll drop down the link in the description, all the frequencies that you'll need. I'm going to grab them from 4Flight, which is what we're using at the moment, and I'm going to get all of those set up. So I've got a screen recording of this, which I will drop in, and you should be able to see that now. And if we go to Oceano County, which we've got in at the moment, then we should be able to see all of the frequencies. So 122.7, 122.7 is the frequency for Oceano County. 122.7 we have set. So that's Oceano County. That's the current airport that we are at. We're going to go to San Luis, and there's two things we want to really get from San Luis before we go, so that we can one, get the weather, because we might as well do that before we get airborne. It's a short hop over there as well. And then also what we want to do is get their frequency ready to go. So I will grab that now. San Luis ATIS 120.6. So popping that in to 120.6. 120.6 in the standby window. And that's the ATIS, and tower is 124.0. So we'll set that in as well. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that in the the COM2 window, 120.6, so we can grab the ATIS from there, and the tower in 124, just so I can punch straight across to that. And that is us pretty much set now, ready to rock and roll. So 124 in there. Right, so we are going to fly pretty much due north. It's about 10 miles away. It's a very short hop, so we'll taxi out to the runway in a second. Let's just grab the weather before we go so that we can get everything set there. 120.6, and that's on COM2.
San Luis County.
Read back all runway events and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Juliet.
Juliet.
San Luis County Reed Airport. ATIS information, Juliet. 1556 below. Wind 280 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky conditions clear. Temperature 13. Dew point 9er. Altimeter 3026. Arriving and departing runway 29er. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Juliet.
Cool. And then all I've done, I used 4Flight, a scratch pad in 4Flight, to write all of that down. Fairly straightforward stuff. 3026 on the altimeter, so we'll get that set now. 3026. Quite high today. Wow. 3026. Perhaps not best practice to set the altimeter for the arrival runway before we go, but it works for in here for now, and it means that we're not going to forget it. 29 on the runway, that's what we're going to use here as well. So I think we are pretty much good to go. We got 1227 and back onto COM1, turn COM2 off. So that's Oceano County ready to go. So pulling up the taxi chart, we're at General Aviation at the moment. We're going to taxi out. I'm going to go on runway 29 because that looks like the runway that we're going to use. So taxiing out, taxiing forwards. Checking the brakes are good. And continuing that taxi out. Here we go. And I'm going to let everybody know that we are taxiing. Oceano traffic, Cessna November 714 Golf Zulu, taxiing from General Aviation to runway 29. Just to let everybody know where we're going, what we're doing. It's an uncontrolled airport here, so we're using what's known as a CTAF frequency, the Common Terminal Advisory Frequency, to let everybody know what's going on. Now for you guys, I've got 3 monitors here. I can see quite clearly the traffic that's coming. Obviously for yourselves, you might have to pan left and right to be able to do that. Always advisable before you cross a runway as well. Okay, so checking the turn indicator as we go. So there's a left turn and a right turn we've done now. Ball out to the right when we move to the left, and it starts to recover. That's all good. The altimeter is set. We're going to bring the fuel pump on. The fuel pressure is good. We have plenty of fuel. Temperature and pressure are all good. I'm going to brief the departure now before we go, while we're taxiing out. But again, always feel free to do that just before you go. So any problems on the departure while there's room ahead and it's safe and suitable to do so, I'll put the aircraft down on the ground. We'll do the emergency on the ground. From then up until about probably 700 feet here, so what we're looking at 1,000 feet indicated, I'll be choosing somewhere ahead of the aircraft if something goes wrong, to put the aircraft down. And after that, once we're above 1,000, I'll be looking to do a turn back around to the left, if that's the most suitable direction. If we can deal with the emergency without putting the aircraft on the ground, then we'll do so, and the aim will be to come up into a left-hand circuit to do that. So I'll take off brief complete, holding short the whole short line, set 1,000, put the parking brake on. So that's our parking brake set. So pre-takeoff checks, flaps I will put down to takeoff. They're at 10 and they are indicating, checks on both sides. Trim is set to take off, which it is. I'll just give it one little click up actually. So trim set to take off, doors and windows are all secured. Transponder is on. I'll set VFR, which in America is 1200, and to alt, which we have there. So that's ready to squawk now. Takeoff brief we have completed. Base and final I can see is all clear at the moment. Nav lights are on, strobe lights are on. The wind is about 3 knots here, 5 knots, yeah, something like that. So it's not too bad at all. I'm not going to affect it slightly from the right if anything. And runway 29 is what we're looking for. Transmitting. Oceano traffic, November 714 Golf Zulu, lining up runway 29. Okay, taxiing out. Still checking that approach is clear. Runway 29 we have on the numbers in front of us. And I'll be looking for 29 on the direction indicator, which we have bugged, and 29 on the compass as well, which we have, and it's bugged. That is the correct runway. Okay, and power's coming in. There's full power set. RPM's good. Temperatures and pressures are all good. Bit of right rudder to keep her lined up on the runway centre line. And off we go. Airspeed's alive. Temperature pressure's all still good. 55 there. Rotating. For about 74 in the climb. Clear of the obstructions, and we have a positive rate. Gear would go up if we had it. The flaps are up and indicating and visually checked. They're all good. And the temperature pressures remain good in the climb. Okay, losing that option now if anything goes wrong to land ahead, because we've got water ahead of us, so it'll be a turn to the right. And I'm actually going to start that turn to the right now. And any problems, we would now be looking again over to the right hand side. Just going to dip the nose a second, make sure there's no one ahead of us that I can see traffic wise. That all looks good. Fuel pump's going to go off now through 1,000 feet and climbing out nicely. Transmitting. Oceano traffic, November 714 Fox Echoes now clear to the north en route. So that's us. We've told everybody that we're now leaving. I need to now get two-way communications with San Luis before we
traffic
get there.
Bravo going around.
There we go. So that's someone else in the circuit there. We've just left them behind. So 124 we have. Heading is good at the moment, and we are on direct track to San Luis. They're already bugged. We've got their ATIS. We've already set the altimeter, and the ATIS was Juliet, and I will start that transmission. I'll level us at 2,000 feet. San Luis Tower, good afternoon. Cessna November 714 Golf Zulu, 7 miles to the south, inbound, full stop with Juliet.
Number 71, Falls Zulu, San Luis Tower, good morning. Make straight in, runway 29er, report a 3-mile final.
Straight in, runway 29, call 3-mile final, November 714 Golf Zulu. And there we go. So we've made 2A comms with them. They've cleared us direct in for runway 29.
1 Kilo Papa, runway 29er on the final.
Number 1, Kilo Papa, 29er, cleared to land, wind 280 at 7.
Always good as well to have those radios on, because now we know
29er, full 1 Kilo Papa.
that there's another aircraft in the circuit.
Number 30, Charlie, tag Victorville Tower, 118.35.
There we go. All set and ready. So we could do some cruise checks.
King Air 5 over, contact Los Angeles Center 133.2.
Just going to turn him off a second, which is a bit naughty if we were flying for real. That's not something we would do. Fuel I'm going to leave set to both. Temperature and pressures are all looking good. Fuel is nicely balanced. We've got runway 29 set. The altimeter is set appropriately for them. Instruments are all cross-checked.
Number 75, member Adelaide Center, climb maintain flight level 250.
And I've got the airport in front of us here. Runway 29 is the runway that we have been cleared to make an approach on and want us to call a 3-mile final on that. And we're inside.
Victorville Charlie, correction, Victorville Tower.
We're inside the Class D now. Listening to the controller at all times, he says, having just turned it off, and set ourselves up for a 3-mile final. Getting that speed back, mixture's rich.
Runway 17, Skyline 30.
Fuel selector's on. Car beat's not required, lights are all on at the moment. So I'm going to start a gentle descent down now. There is, by the looks of things, another aircraft. Yeah, just got another. I just thought I saw another strobe light here. Yeah, there is. There's an aircraft just here, if you can see that. A strobe light, so benefits of having a good lookout. So someone else is on approach. Haven't heard him call on the radio yet, which is interesting. And I've got the runway just for you guys. The runway is over here, off on my left, setting ourselves up for a 3-mile final. That speed's coming back nicely under control. Like I say, mixture is fully rich. Fuel set to both. Coming in nicely now. We're going to end up following this aircraft in. We're probably quite tight in behind him actually, so I'm going to get that speed right back. Drop one layer of notch of flaps, so they are down and indicating, and I can see them on both sides. Get ourselves slowed down. San Luis Tower, November 714 Golf Zulu, 2-mile final visual 1 on runway 29. Just letting him know that we're visual with the one ahead.
Number 714 Zulu, traffic you're following is a Skyhawk over the numbers. Do you have them in sight?
A firm, November 714 Golf Zulu, visual 1 on.
I'm sorry, number 4 Golf, the traffic's over the numbers. Do you have the aircraft in sight? It's a Skyhawk.
A firm, 714 Golf Zulu.
Thank you. Number 714 Golf Zulu, runway 29er. I'm going to have to say go around and make left traffic.
Go around, make left traffic, November 714 Golf Zulu. Okay, so there we go.
Number 6 Lima Delta, roger, he was no factor.
So going around, full power is
He
set.
was 700 below.
Temperatures and pressures are all good, and the flaps are up and indicating. And this, guys, is why it is so good that
Number
this.
1 Kilo Pop, turn at Charlie Alpha into the ramp.
I'm just going to jink over to the right to get eyes on that other aircraft. That's why this is so good for training.
Charlie Alpha to the left.
Because there was someone on. I mean, to be fair, my spacing could have been better, but we were aware of him. I thought there was plenty of time to get down on the ground, which I think there probably would have been, to be honest. And I just think the controller didn't hear us call that we were visual with one on ahead of us, so here's what it is. Okay, so he's asked us to make left traffic. 1300 feet will work for the pattern altitude, coming over to the left. And I will call, next call, mid downwind for runway 29. So, setting ourselves up, coming out at 90 degrees. And this is the thing, right? So many learning points that we can take away. And this is why that PilotEdge, for me, is so good, particularly as a student pilot, because you can get so much practice in. You know, proper scenarios that do happen in real life. that you just, you can't buy that
4
kind
Golf
of.
Zulu, runway 29er, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 29, 714 Golf Zulu. It's an early call from him, to be honest, but I guess he's just trying to get me around efficiently. So here we go. That's us now set downwind. Here we can see the runway over there. We're a little bit wide, but not to worry too much. What is going on? What is going on? Right. Let's get this under control. So, downwind, brakes are off. Undercarriage, if we had it, would be down. Mixture is fully rich. Pump is on. Flaps we're leaving as they are. Instruments are all set. Runway 29 and cross-checked on all of those. It's all looking good. Car beats not required. Harnesses would be tight and locked. So here we go. Looks like everything is clear all the way in. Maintain at 1300 feet, about 90 knots.
Join wind clearance bearing 1110.
Which is good on the way around.
To John Wayne and request I.
November 1110, line clearance, good morning.
Resisting the
I
urge
have your
to turn
I-1
us in
request.
tight.
I will tell you though, on future IFR routings, do not include airports inside the
So
route
getting in
portion.
trouble.
Of your
Okay,
flight
that's
plan.
us about there now, so bringing our
Airports
throttle
cannot be
down
used as a
to
waypoint.
1500 feet.
Stand by your clearance on request.
Turning onto our base leg
Thank you so
now.
much. 10.
Flaps coming down to 10, first notch,
Sierra
flaps
Alpha,
in.
verify aircraft type.
Temperature pressures are all good.
Baron 58 G.
What about 1200?
Roger. On future IF flight plan, using the Baron, the appropriate aircraft code is Bravo
On.
Echo 58. Stand by.
You see, and again, one of the
Thank you
cool
so
things,
much, Steve.
PilotEdge, these are people going through their ratings, through their through the different program, and we're going to cover all of
Number 6
that.
Lima Delta, contact Magoo approach.
But what is really
124.7.
good is that they help people out. If they're not too busy, sometimes, at the weekends in particular, it gets really busy, and they're not able to
Number
help out as much.
30
But it's all about learning.
On,
Right, turning final.
see if you can make Echo. Let's go Echo Charlie's ramp cross runway 21 on Echo on my frequency.
Full flat now.
Roger, sir. Ed Charlie, if possible, Skyline 30 Charlie, I'd like to taxi
Taser
for
clear the
departure.
brakes.
We can accept runway 21 at Echo. Returning to Oxnard. Request VFR flight follow.
Good lookout. We're all clear. No other traffic. Brakes are off. Toes are clear of the toe brakes. We have been cleared to land. All looking good. Runway 29.
Approach Camarillo altimeter 3024.
Making sure we don't do a Harrison
Number
Ford and land on the
2330
wrong
runway
runway, or even a
21
taxiway.
at Charlie, correction,
65
runway 21
we're looking
at
for on the
Echo,
final
taxi via
approach.
Delta and Echo, hold short of runway
60 over the
21.
numbers. All looking good.
Roger, runway
Looking
21
nice.
at Taxi via Delta Echo. Skyline
Holding
30 Charlie.
altitude. Looking
Return
towards the
0
end of
Charlie,
the
what was
runway.
your station again?
And we
Returning to
are on.
Oxnard via FAR flight. We'll be cruising 6,500.
Number 2330, Roger. Departure with
Brakes
Joshua
are good.
approach 126.1, squawk 4552.
Departure with 20126.1, squawking
Make it off on this
4552,
one.
Skyline 30 Charlie. Thank you, sir.
Skyline 30 Charlie, repeat is correct, and just let me know when you're ready to go at Echo short of 21.
Wilco, Skyline 30.
Number 4 Golf Zulu, my frequency into the ramp via Alpha. Good day.
Into the ramp via Alpha, remaining this. Thanks. November 4 for Golf Zulu. Cool. Well, he was obviously watching from the tower because I was about to call him to say let's switch to ground. So that is it, guys. The first trip on PilotEdge completed. Like I say, I'll put all the frequencies and bits and pieces that you'll need into a document. The paperwork actually on the PilotEdge training is really good. Literally will tell you what to say, but we don't want to do that if we can get away with it. We want to learn how to do it ourselves and be able to kind of manipulate it every time, right? So, but yeah, short flight from Oceano County to San Luis Regional Airport. Hopefully a good one to get you into it. You could then see what's involved. And yeah, get involved on PilotEdge. Hope that was useful. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like the video if you did, give us a thumbs down if you didn't, and subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you in the next one. I've been Matt Williams. Fly safe, blue skies.